Shalawam. Hey, first and foremost, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of GMS that rule well and teach well in sincerity, taught us His truth. And Shalawam to the hopeful elect. All right, so let's get into it. So what you just saw there was Iceland's last volcano eruption. And let's go and look up how many times the volcanoes have erupted in Iceland. And I believe it was about 6 times. History, right? Recent history. All right. Iceland has experienced several volcanic eruptions in recent years, including official eruptions in Reykjanes area since 2021. Now, that eruption which just occurred was recent. All right, as you can see, you had since March 2021, August 2022, July 2023, December 2023, January 2024, February 2024. Okay, so it's been, you know, as the brothers been watching, we've been seeing that it's always been reporting over there how the volcanoes are erupting. All right, and this is basically all over the world. If we look up worldly volcanoes eruptions recently, and I'm just zoning in on Iceland because it was you know, it's been constant. So boom, right here. Other volcanoes that have recently erupted include you had a volcano in the U.S., one in Russia, Philippines, Italy, Russia, Solomon Islands, and Costa Rica. And you have several others that are just going crazy, man. Okay? Or close to erupting. So, with that being said, we know 1/3 of the earth will be burned with fire and brimstone. Now, this is including predominantly the nukes, the ICBM missiles, right? But you have other things and other weapons that Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi can use to get rid of people. Okay, let's take it to the scriptures. All right, Revelations 9 and 18. By these three were the third part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouth. Now this is speaking about what? Let's get context. All right, let's start at 13. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which is before Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. Now, for you Christians, this is not actual physical angels that are under the great river Euphrates. Okay? And the river Euphrates is drying up. We can prove that right now. All right. River Euphrates drying up. All right. Yes, the Euphrates River is at risk of drying up due to climate change. Oh, that's what they want to blame everything on. And human impact. In northeastern Syria, temperatures have increased by 1 degree Celsius in the last 100 years, while average rainfall has decreased by 18 millimeters per century. The Iraqi Ministry of Water Resources has warned that the river could dry up by 2040. All right? And Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi may expedite that, man. Because this is all through the scriptures that when that river dries up, man, you know, these are the last days. Okay? So, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. This is speaking about spiritual angels. Okay? It's speaking about spirits. Okay? Certain, you know, the seals being unleashed is certain times and certain events that have to happen during these times when the certain seals are being unleashed. like famine, like plague, like pestilence. Okay? And the 4 angels were loosened, which were prepared for an hour. So that's an appointed time that these angels have been set up for. And a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the third part of men. And this is the third part of men. Let's take it back to Google. How many people is on this earth? And I believe it's around 7 billion. How many people on earth? 7.951 billion. Okay, so really you could just basically round it up to 8 billion people on this earth. Okay. Yeah, well, they saying right now it's 8 billion. Okay. So that number must be off. The projected world population on January 1, or this is projected, January 1, 2024 is 8 billion. And Esau may be incorrect with that. Probably more people than that, man, that they don't even know about. Okay? Their census ain't always correct. And you don't supposed to take census of our nation anyway. All right, at the end of the day. Now, let's keep going back. So, 1/3 of that, and let's take it to the calculator. It's 8 billion. That's 8 billion divided by 3. So that's 2.666. That's basically 2 billion. You can round it up to 2,700,000,000 people. Okay, being unalived. That's a lot of people, man. So that's set up for an appointed time. That's why Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi is basically preserving a lot of people for that appointed time. Right? So when that happens, how can that easily be done? By ICBM missiles. By volcanoes erupting in specific points. Let's go look at the biggest volcano in the world. And it's in Hawaii, the Mauna Loa. Okay, this thing is huge. This thing is basically the size of a mountain. All right. Now, if this thing erupts, pretty much that whole island is done. All right. And all them people that's over there are done. But that's not one that's really, because it's a big population over there, but nothing close to 2,700,000,000. Now, we talking about the one in Yellowstone, right? That volcano in Yellowstone, if that one erupts, then they say that the whole West Coast is pretty much gone. Right? Let's take that to YouTube. And Salakia, I keep bouncing over, but they just getting some stuff. What would happen if Yellowstone volcano erupts? All right, let's try to find a short video. Let's see what she's saying.
What if the supervolcano under Yellowstone blew up? It's one of about 20 supervolcanoes around the world, and when they blow, they're the most violent events on Earth. And the one in Yellowstone has already done this 3 times. Let me put this into perspective. The closest thing to a super eruption we've ever seen was Tambora in 1815. It ejected around 40 cubic kilometers of volcanic content into the atmosphere, blocking out some of the sun's light, leading to the year without a summer that was characterized by weather anomalies and widespread crop failures across the globe. But an actual super eruption would be at least 25 times bigger than this. So if you're in North America like me and Yellowstone decides to, brace yourself. But even if you're just on planet Earth, this could mean a decade or more of volcanic winter. Fortunately, the USGS says they're not too worried for the time being. What if...
All right, perfect. So the way she brought it into perspective is understanding that when a super volcano erupts, or a volcano in general, it goes forth and damages crops. It damages that because crops need sunlight and they need rain and things like that. So that cloud that's produced up in the air is going to prevent a lot of that. Now, This is far worse when ICBM missiles hit. Okay, you talking about decades, you talking about maybe centuries, man, dealing with that fallout. Okay? Just off the atomic bomb, like Fat Man and Little Boy, right? Nagasaki and Hiroshima, they still dealing with the effects of that in the soil and in the water supply. And during my time in Japan, doing, the carrier that I was on in the military, it's a nuclear carrier. And they always protested. They came in waves protesting to get the nuclear carrier out of Japan. They hated it. They hated the U.S. being there. Okay, and they would protest it because it damages the water supply. It changes the water, right? That nuclear, the chemicals in it, right? And how much more for nuclear war? Okay, so you're talking about really a damaging effect. Now, understanding this, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi has control over the elements. And the brothers will have control over the elements. So all of that nuclear waste and things like that, we'll be able to take away that. As we know, Israel will be bombed, as the scriptures say. But eventually, brothers will be, living there. Because we're going to come through and take all that chemical and waste and all that away, man. Having control of the elements. So it's nothing to worry about for the elect. But just letting you know, if something like a super volcano would erupt, then it's over for this place. So that's showing that Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi has these type of weapons in place. And then he has the ICBM missiles. And he also has the chariots. And he also has plenty of the things that we probably don't even know about. Think about Leviathan coming up. Leviathan breathing fire. Nothing can penetrate him. So Leviathan by himself can take out America. Right? All right, let's keep going. Verse 16. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them. Now these are ICBM missiles. Okay? These are ICBM missiles. Read 17 and understand this. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. So these are the missiles going forth. By these three were the third part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. And the rest of men which were not killed by these plagues yet repented not of their works, not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk, neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts. So they kept on in their wickedness. That's why they going into slavery, to get right. Right? Understanding that. And we say it will be war no more. And that is true. But first of all, when the brothers come back with Yahawashi, when he cracks the clouds, and that new city Jerusalem appears, which is the brothers, brick by brick, 144,000 bricks, understanding that, it will be war. Okay? Brothers is going forth and kick ass, man. I ain't throwing these heathens round about. Kicking ass, man. Alright? And it ain't really gonna be no war, because who gonna mess with the brothers, man? Nobody. Alright? You're not gonna be able to stop an Israelite. Okay? At the end of the day, it's either bow down or get knocked down. Alright? So, understanding that. Now, these volcanoes, right? Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi could easily have a volcano erupt in America and change shit off course. But he's holding that back. And that may be a reason why these Edomites, they say they're not really worried about a super volcano erupting, etc., etc. Alright, they don't know what the Heavenly Father is gonna do. He could easily have that happen. But understand that he has a lot of elect men on the West Coast right now. So he's not, and if he did it, he would protect us. But I believe if he does do it, if he allows that volcano to erupt, it would be when the brothers is pulled up. It would be right after that. right, or doing it, and brothers is pulled up right before the ash, right before the lava penetrates. You know, he's going to protect his elect. He's going to protect his remnant. He's not going to allow the brothers or sisters or their children to get hurt, man, the righteous, at the end of the day. So we don't have nothing to worry about. So just keep in mind, man, this is fear, right? We fear Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, understanding that he has so many weapons, and he is the creator of all things. He created these things to do their purpose. The volcano has a purpose. The ocean has a purpose. The animals of the sea have a purpose. The things that we don't supposed to eat have a purpose. Cleaning the earth and doing things like that. The bee has a purpose. The flower has a purpose. Everything works in unison, right? So, you know, it's very important to really sit back and just look at nature and be like, man, this is a beautiful cycle. This is a beautiful situation. And I love it. Personally, I love nature. I love going hiking and things like that, man. Even in the world, man, I wasn't really on no nigga shit. But, you know, smoking weed, yeah, things like that. Hey, stupid, but still going hiking and things like that. I still enjoy nature because really appreciating Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, even before I knew the scriptures. You got to appreciate and be grateful that we are able to experience and witness all this stuff, man. Brothers, take your time out, and if you got the finances to do it, man, go camping. Go camping, man. I might want to do a lesson on that. Open your eyes up to new things. Go camping, bro. I promise you. Go camping, barbecue. When you out there, sleep under the stars. It's a different experience, but it's fun, it's beautiful, and you'll love it. All right, and with that being said, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of GMS that rule well and teach well and sincerely taught us this truth. Shalawam to you sincere Akim out there pushing and preaching this 100% doctrine. Shalawam also to you 1/3 men, women, and children. Shalawam. Kwam Yasharahla, Ababa Bar.